Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is SuperCoach Challenges and today we're doing the round 12 review and uh wasn't our best week. To be honest, I kind of missed doing the loops for my VC and captain this week, which wasn't great. And the rookies really coming to bite us, which is kind of a problem I'm realizing in this challenge now because it was really hard to move on rookies throughout. So building up the money was fine, but moving on rookies and not getting in guys under over 400k made it really hard throughout the year to kind of upgrade the scoring on field. And it got to this point where we were upgrading one a week from round 3 obviously, but then you were kind of just so far behind. And even though at the buys, like we were kind of pretty well set for them, we kind of made a hard job. We did move up this week, so that's good. Highest rank yet. If we break 100k, would be nice. Top 50%, I think, would be nice. We're in the top 60, so I don't think that's a stretch. I think 50k is probably a stretch. I'd say we're what? A good 1,500 points off that. I mean, 15 rounds maybe. I mean, we are missing a few of the dead rookies, I guess. But outside of that, it's a bit hard because a lot of the mid prices this year are failing spectacularly, as you were about to see. And it's making it hard. I think last year this would have been quite good because all the mid prices seem to work, whereas this year it's a bit of a hard one, and we couldn't really make moves such as going for what's his name, going for like Briggs and stuff because I was looking at the picks last week and it just seemed like we were going to run out, and it's kind of like a bit of a pain. It's like it'd be nice to be able to move on guys like Zeeble and Diesel and who's the other one? Zeeble, Sheasel, and Day, but we're going to be stuck with them. So that's the way it is. We anyway scored 1698, which was a top 38% score, which shows that there were some low scores out there. But anyway, we're going to look up, and they say 80% of success is turning up, so we've at least got the 80% in there. Not much success so far, but it's a new week, so I'm thinking what we're going to do is we're going to stray away from the mean a little bit. I think we're going to look at some guys who are in lower percentiles of teams because I think that's going to be the way that we differentiate from a lot of these teams. I mean, we're still going to get those guys we need, the guys who are going to score really well, but we're going to kind of try and stride away from maybe every popular premium and maybe pick a few. Let's pick a few interesting players because, everyone's got that. Clary. I mean, we're going to probably pick Clary, but everyone's got players like that. Let's try and pick something that's a little bit different, a little bit out there, and make some places up in this thing. So, an interesting week. The defense was moderately good. I mean, Weddle 90. That was really good. Port Adelaide absolutely destroyed the Hawks. Destroyed the Hawks. And he was a real shining light back then. A lot of people would be happy with that. As you can see, the two North Melbourne boys failed, and Zeeble is dropping like a knife. Oh, Jesus. That is a falling dagger. And I'm not sure I want to hold on to it anymore. In the midfield, pretty underwhelming. We VC Taranto, who played second. So obviously, I think what happened after I was mucking around with it in the last video, I forgot to reset the VC captains. I was thinking about it after the video, how I didn't talk about them, and it kind of hurt. There wasn't that many better scores anyway, so 113 was actually our third highest score. So, we didn't miss much. I can't believe that. Did Stuart really get rounded down to 127? I thought he was like 130. The midfield, pretty atrocious. Baker probably has to go. But he does play in the next 2 rounds, so it's like, do we hold? What's his money like? He's on the precipice, and Port Adelaide aren't the easiest, or they're definitely not the easiest. They're probably the best team outside of maybe Collingwood. And the forward line's just, yeah, really below average. But nothing we can do about that. We look forward. This Bailey. Okay, let's talk about this one. So obviously got Bailey Humphrey in this. That's great. But this score might be one of the most over, like, just incorrect scores ever given in Supercoach. We saw. Oh, I don't want footy. What's that? Fan footy. We saw Sam Doherty get a 39 disposal game and score an 80 or something like that earlier this season. And we've now seen Bailey Humphrey score a 99. And let's have a look at this. A 99 off a 35% disposal efficiency, right? 35%. That is honestly off 12 disposals. He had 17 disposals. 17 disposals. That's still bad though. It's a good ratio, but 17 disposals. I know the 2 goals, like they were, and he did have 13 contested, so that probably attributes to that. But we've always got everyone saying like, scores, it's all about efficiency. If you don't get a high efficiency, you're not going to score well. But I just think that 17 disposals with 2 goals that's a high score of a 99. Like, look at the DT difference to Super. I know this last goal was in, one of the more dying stages, but and it was from a bullshit 50 as well. Absolute, like, come on. But Jesus Christ, the people who didn't pick him would feel very, very unlucky with a score like that. But the people who have him are very, very happy with it. And it is helping our team and did help our score. So we're not going to complain too much. And then otherwise, we had a heap of players miss. I mean, forward's been put into a forward pocket role. Great. Thanks, North. It's just classic from you guys. And the rest of the team was pretty underwhelming, but we move forward. This stuff happens. So let's optimize this. So we've got Neil and Brayshaw, and that was who we decided to kind of bring in last week. Because I was like, you know what, let's use the trades early and let's get in these guys so we have them going forward. Now, the issue is now, right, is that Zeeble has underperformed again and his break even is huge. And it's not, even if you flip him at round 15, he'd just be worth nothing. Like, this is off a 98 is projecting a 33k loss. And if we look at anything, he probably won't score that well. They're projecting 109 and he needs to go down 10k or 8k the next game. I just don't see that happening. I just don't. Like, honestly, if you had the trades, get out of the Seagull pick, because I don't know. I feel like that money could be used, and just feel like there's better players out there. And guys like Nat Fyfe are now coming on, which is great. Couldn't do that at the start of the season when we started you. But yeah, it's going to be hard from here. Very hard. So we got 1.5, and I'm trying to think of what we're going to do. Let's have a look at the buys first. So round 13, we're going to be fine with. We're just going to keep holding Darcy. I think he's going to be even the 201 break even on Darcy. We're just going to keep holding him and hope he's not out for too long. For now, because Ryan doesn't play to round 14 anyway, so we're just going to cover that off and hope for the best there. We've obviously missed Briggs. Probably could have traded Downs. Probably the play. But then we have to get a ruck back in. I just don't know if it's worth it. Like, yeah. But I guess you make the money off him, which is probably what is more important. So let's look at round 14. So how many have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've got 16. And I'm thinking that we bring in we clear out a few round. We clear out a few players here. I think that maybe Zeeble and a Baker are the only two you might trade out here. was thinking maybe Warpool, but he's actually probably going to make a bit more money, to be honest. So I'm thinking Baker and Zeeble. We'll take the cash on that. I mean, it's only really upgrading one position though. Let's have a look at the full team and see what we've got, and if the trades are really going to allow. I think that Day's probably better to hold than Zeeble. The reason being is his possession numbers have actually been quite good. It just hasn't really translated into Supercoach scoring. So I think if you want to hold someone with a like degree of confidence, Will Day's probably the one. I mean, I know we've seen like Zeeble. If we look at these scores, like that 179 is great, but we've kind of seen a drop off since Clarko left. I mean, he's lost 80k in 2 weeks, which is pretty wild. 601k he got to. Probably the point he should have been traded. If we thought about it, we probably should have just traded him, but that's hindsight. But yeah, I just think that if you're going to look at these three, I mean, Sheasel's young. He seems to be getting the ball all right in the forward line. If they maybe give him some midfield time, maybe that starts to peak a little bit more. Especially with Simpkin out now, it might mean that Sheasel is kind of forced a little bit to play in the sorry for the yawn, in the midfield as well. So that's why I'm thinking Zeeble. But right, we look at this team. So the forward line really needs some upgrades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 7 at least. 13 trades. So that would leave 6. So then we can kind of have a few sideways. So Warpool, Horn, Francis would make 9, and then Zeeble's like 10, leaving us 3, which is I don't mind that. I think it's really going to be a little bit of a wait and see. I feel like Sheasel is like it's not what you want, but you can play him as actually even Humphrey might be the what's it called F8. F7, F6, F7 that we could kind of play. Maybe get someone in cheap like Fife and just loot those two. It wouldn't be too bad. Even Elliot Yo actually played really good, but I just think it's a little bit too early. Might have to wait one more and then get him after his bye. Because guys got hammy issues. You don't want injuries. Who else played well? What's the North player's name? He got injured, but he was playing really, really well. He used to play for the Chrome. Where's North? Hugh Greenwood was playing quite well. Like this 45 was very early into the second or something, and then he got injured. So, yeah, a bit of a lucky one for people if they were looking at that. I think Power could be interesting next year if he can actually get a run. There'll be a few interesting mid prices I think next year because of these what's it called subs. So be interesting to see. So realistically, who can we trade out over these next 2 weeks? So really, if we're going to go early, we should be thinking about Warpool, thinking about because he will help us next round. Chandler, so probably Chandler, Warpool, and Warpool could make money though. Feeble, because I think Chandler's probably tapped out here. And then do we go? Do we go ahead and go Warpool? I'm not sure. It's an interesting question. Not much money to make. Does help us next week. All right, so we'll stick like this for now. So we got 2 round 13 players and 1 round 14. So I'm thinking we can bring in, because if we look at round 12, there's not really anyone I like. Should we go Sarong? He's only 14% owned. I think not many people be looking at him. Also something. Right, we only want the cream of the crop, the best of the best here. All right, Parker. Let's start from the top. Barker, luggage. I liked Parker until he put out that dismal score. He's also suspended, which doesn't help. Warner, very interesting. Steele. Maybe we go Steele. Let's just back him in. He's lowly owned. What can we do here? We can put another mid forward. And then we can bring in let's go Sarong, 14% owned. Not the worst. Take both those Fremantle boys and we will put in. Do we bring in around 15 player? Jesus, there's not many over the Caleb Daniels, actually Bailey Dale. I like Bailey Dale because Ed Richards is now injured. I'm not 100% sure on the distance of that injury. Caleb Daniels who played very well. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Dale's going to have a nice chunk of the kickouts now with that injury. If we complete that now. So we're going at 1940, not the best. That's 1961. Ooh, big. It would be better if Darcy was playing, but that is not happening. What's this leave us with? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 spots, but 6, 5. 5 spots, 10 trades. Not too bad. Not too bad. I think maybe we'll just keep Horn Francis as long as possible. Ride that wave. And maybe Humphrey as well. I don't even want you on field. I don't like you. Actually, maybe we keep Warple. Maybe we keep Warple and we trade Baker. All right, that's a bit better. We're running out of money though. I mean, that's going to become an issue. So maybe Sarong. Sarong's right. And we look at. Well, Dawson is there at a very nice price, but I want to go Dale because what we're trying to get ready for here is next round. When we don't realistically have to trade anyone this round. I think Sarong's actual break even is quite high, so maybe we just skip that trade for now. Maybe we go and we just get rid of the 2 we really need to get rid of. They could all really go though, couldn't they? I wonder what Chandler's break even's like. Chandler's break even is sitting at 92, which is bad. And Baker's. He's got Port Adelaide we need to keep in mind is 59. So probably going to keep Baker for one more round. So let's stick with this. And all right, so the midfield's kind of coming together. Bont, Laird, Brayshaw, Neil, and Steele. The back line is Dacos, Dale, Stewart, and the forward mid is Rosie, Taranto, Golden. Actually, we have to fit in a Dunkley, but Dunkley is very expensive. But he has a low break even. It's a bit scary. This could become very high soon. In 70% of teams. It's because everyone started him. If you didn't start him, you're an idiot. Not a luxury you had in this. Yeah, so I am going to be rethinking what we do next year with the challenge. I think that this was definitely a bit harsh, making us wait to the buys. It's more like timing the upgrades is what we need to do with this team, which is maybe what we should have just we should have held it to round 3, but then let us trade as we wanted from there. It would have been a lot better. And we would have had a lot better idea of where we're at. Nevertheless, Can't complain now. But it does hurt to see Dunkley 648 because I reckon he was low, uh, high 500s. Yeah, 570. That would have been real nice round 6 because he just went on a tear 109, 149, 103. And the last 2 weeks have been massive. And Hawthorn probably could go well because I feel like they'll tag Neil if they're going to tag someone. Yeah, so I think this is how we'll leave it for now. We'll just do the 2 trades. Obviously, we've got 2 boosts left, but that's the way it's going to go. We could probably use 4 and 4 next 2 weeks, which would take us to 3 in that last round. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst having Day and Sheasel, I don't think, in the end. I don't think that would be the worst thing we could do. Let's have a look at our buys. I'm going to optimize that back. Because we're going to have to look at... I mean, we also got killed by these rookies, these dead rookies. We picked Roberts, Drury, Constable, Chesser. Like, these are just unlucky rookies at the start. Even Davey. Oh, my God. We've, like, milked as much money as we could as well. So, round 13, fine. Round 14, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So we'll have 17 to start. We can go like 1, 2. We got 4 choices next week, which will probably be just Mitchell, I reckon. Get the 18. Maybe Weddle as well. I don't know. We'll see. And then round 15 is actually not looking bad by this as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14. Is there any other way to fix it? Well, the way to fix it would not to be go Daling. It'd be not to go anyone around 13. Who can we go? Do we just go... what's Dale's break even? I think it's going to be low because he had a good game. 79. We're not losing too much money, I don't think, on that. Round 12 defenders are just bare. Like, oh, maybe we just jump on Sinclair. What's his break even? 78, but then it's going to roll out next week. I just feel like everyone's got Sinclair. I'd probably just rather... he's actually only 17% on. He's less than Luke Ryan. That's pretty interesting. Nick Blakey got the big contract today. So, see, 2031, 8 years. 8 years of Nick Blakey. That's mega. Defense doesn't give us much. What about... Can we move anything? I would have thought I'd have a way to move this around. Apparently not. Oh, yeah, I do. What about forward line? Is there anything in the forward line that picks fancy average? Isaac Heaney, our Lord and Savior, is he someone to look at? Hasn't been a great year for old Isaac. No. I think the forward line is going to have to be as plain Jane as possible. And the midfield only presents Chad Warner. Is that the worst we could do? Hugh McCluggage is quite cheap. Hasn't been playing the best though. Warner scores are at the SCG, and they do have a lot of SCG games coming up, don't they? 114, 80, 59, and then 137. That was a bad game at the SCG, but then really good, good, and good. Could this be the back end breakout that we look for? Is that something we want to take a stab on? I think, considering where we are and considering that we'll probably get Mills near the end as well, actually. Actually, Parrish is here as well. He comes in around 50. Oh, hmm. Callum Mills is definitely going to be a player we're looking at. When he comes off this calf, 171, scores badly, probably going to be worth what, 450 at least. That's going to be a cheap in for us, like a sideways maybe. Even making money if we're lucky. Yeah, I don't really like anything below this, so maybe I do just go Chad Warner. Let's go Chad Warner. This is a fun pick. I like this pick. Chad Warner it is. It's a little bit of a fun pick. Hopefully he has a breakout in the back end of the season. They got a good run of SCG games coming up. What they got? They got St Kilda. That should be easy. So St Kilda, Brisbane's bad, but then West Coast, Geelong, if they got some injuries, you could score well. Richmond, easy. Doggies, not as good, but then Fremantle away is probably a hard game, but then Essendon's not that bad. GWS hopefully shows out in a bit of a grudge match, so I want to win that one. Gold Coast and Adelaide and Melbourne, they're like decent midfielders, decent four midfielders. So you know what? We're going to stick with this Chad Warner pick, and we're going to have a quick look at some primos. All right, so the big winner for this week, primos and cash cows. The big winners for this week were the Kieran Briggs traders because he looks like he's going to make another 125k on that. That's a quick 200k. Like if you look at this, 86, 133, he's going to make 180 and be ready to trade by round 14. The way he's scoring, so that's good for those guys. Caleb Daniel, interesting. Ben Keys, also interesting. To be fair, if he can get some mid-time, he could be very nice to have, but he just seems to get it when they need a tag. Elliot Yeo had a very nice game. Sicily's obviously back. If you want to get Sicily, you kind of have to go this week, but then he has the bye, which makes it hard. So unless you're good for round 14, you might just have to leave Sicily there. Brody Kemp has been quite good. May not be showing it in the price, but he's scored quite well. 93, 61, 77, 87. Like if you're paying, what is it, 245 for that. Like we'd probably have started Brody Kemp at the start of the year if you told us he was going to score 90. So that's nice. Dunkley, as we said, has got a very low break even. Ridley's playing really well. So probably should have jumped on last week if you wanted him, but we'll still bring him up. And then let's have a look at our premium. When I call a premium anything 520 above. So Daniel, Brayshaw, break even wise, these guys are all got the price. So Sicily 49. So as we said, if you want him, you probably got to get him now. Daniel is a really nice pod pick. If you could have got him last week, if you known he was going to go 169, that's a really nice pickup last week. Low break even now 53, and if he goes like another high 100 score, he'll have a very nice break even next week as well. Warner, who we picked, as a little bit of a smoky. 73 break even, like that. Brayshaw, Sinclair. Brayshaw, you probably want to get in. Sinclair, I think you can wait and watch. And then Dale's here. A few others. Redmond. English, if you haven't got him in now, you probably want to, because he got 115. Apparently, he was looking pretty good. I didn't actually see any of that game because it was on at the same time as the Crows game. And then otherwise, like Petrarca's too far gone. If you have money, and I guess no problems with trades, it's fine to get Petrarca. But then to go, he's getting 3 or 4 weeks probably, and then the rest below this aren't really viable. Maybe old Parish, but that's a bit of a wait at the moment. Anyway, thanks for watching once again. Always great to have people watching the vids. Not the greatest week. The game's got harder than I expected with this challenge. Well, not harder than I expected. I thought it would be easier to build the team maybe, but we're going to go some interesting picks. I think Warner's an interesting pick. I'm probably going to get Dale and Daniel off of their respective buys. Just get a bit of the pot action going and then hope some of these guys fail that we don't have and then those guys fire. The 3-2-1 this week, so we better do that. We're going to go with Tom Stewart can have the 3 votes. Not very many others were really that good, but we will give Humphrey the 2 vote, and I guess we have to give Dacos the 1. I mean, 123 can't be overlooked. The rest of the team, shape up, or you're going to stay in the team because I can't trade you, but yeah, we just need some big scores here. Get us some big scores. All of the Dunkley fails. Some of these big boys that I don't have fails, so we can get you decreasing and we can get you in the team, but I'm not holding my breath on that. Hopefully everyone enjoyed this vid. Might do a team lineup video when they come out. It's probably about it at the moment because as far as talking about premiums and rookies, like we're running out of trades now, so it's not necessarily something people are really looking at. So hopefully you enjoyed the vid, enjoyed the long rambles as per usual. And next week we'll hopefully see another high score and we'll be moving back up. But gonna be hard. A lot of people are gonna have full teams. We're fighting to get 2,000 by the looks. So it's gonna be interesting. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next vid. Cheers.